Well, as it looks, it's like Harry Kane is not yet ready to give his second move away from Tottenham Hotspur another ignore, as he really had nothing to do when Man City came in for him in the summer of 2021. They had made a bid of £130 million. Daniel Levy told Man City that I want £160 million up front, no add-ons. I want it as in unit or a unison amount of money. And Man City said, we can't pay that amount of money because we've already bought Jack Grealish at £100 million, and no way we are going to pay that amount of money for Harry Kane. They went in for Ronaldo. Ronaldo went to Manchester United until they got in Erling Haaland. And Harry Kane missed out on that golden chance because I believe he would have gone ahead to go into the books of history of scoring close to 60 goals per season if at all he was playing in for Man City. Look at how Haaland is scoring in. Haaland is having close to 45 goals this season and is left with just some 15 goals to hit like 60 goals in the season, and I think he's going to hit it. All those would have been the harvest of Harry Kane while at Man City, but that deal never came in through because he had 3 more years left on his contract. Now, this time around, another chance has really gone ahead to really land on his table. Manchester United is interested in Harry Kane, and he's one of the 3-4-5 players that Erik ten Hag is looking at to sign in that position of the striking role of Manchester United. Amongst those include Victor Osimhen, Harry Kane, Benjamin Šeško, Goncalo Ramos, there is Dusan Vlahovic. Those are the 5 players that Erik ten Hag is eyeing at, and Harry Kane is not willing to really see this chance go past him and is ready to push for United move in the summer. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where you watching us from? Good morning, guys. This is United Matters channel, and let's go ahead and really show you what Harry Kane is all about and the reasons that have been given to us by the Mirror and Court Offside onto why Harry Kane is going to push for a move away from Tottenham Hotspur to join Manchester United. The other story in this includes Scott McTominay. Looks like he's also willing to get or welcome that move away from Manchester United, because it looks like next summer, if United get another midfielder, that means he has no role to play in the game of Manchester United. Remember, this season, he started it very well when Casemiro was away. When Casemiro came in through, he obviously epitomized that central defensive midfield position of Manchester United and took it to the skies, and Scott McTominay couldn't match. And lastly, we are talking about a player, Park Jin-sung, coming out and really hailing Erik ten Hag, and obviously these are hails coming in of merit. Not those hails that really came in through from the players or the ex-players of Manchester United towards Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hailing him because he was his mate whom they played with at Old Trafford for close to 10-15 years. So smash the like button and let's say close to 100 likes flashed onto this video, and subscribe so that we hit 12,000 subscribers on this channel. Now, we all know that Harry Kane is one of those strikers that Erik ten Hag is really monitoring, and a price of £100 million was put onto Harry Kane. But Harry Kane looks like he wants to leave Tottenham Hotspur, and reasons have been given to us by the Mirror via Court Offside. They've told us that Harry Kane will force a move away from Spurs this summer after yet another trophyless season. He's finally had enough. High caliber coaches like Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, and Mauricio Pochettino couldn't bring silverware to Spurs. Therefore, it looks like it will happen. It will never happen for Harry Kane. And when you look at Mauricio Pochettino, I think there was a season they pushed until the last end of the day and they finished second. They would have won that trophy. I think it was Man City who won it. Under Jose Mourinho, they never really came close to any trophy, and under Mauricio Pochettino, they also reached the finale of the Champions League. That's it. But they are really beaten seriously by Liverpool, and they were denied that chance to win that trophy. So it looks like it will never come to a happening. That's it. He has scored very many goals, and it looks like this is the golden chance he has got to go on and really play for a team in the Premier League. And there are teams like Real Madrid interested in him, but he wants to break the record of Aaron Shearer into the Premier League. Aaron Shearer has close to 300 plus goals, and Harry Kane has close to 200 and are they 260 something? Let's see here what Court Offside told us about Harry Kane. They've told us that Harry Kane has been at Tottenham Hotspur his whole career, and this season became the club's record goal scorer. The 29-year-old has scored 270 goals and assisted a further 63 across 424 matches, but has yet to win a trophy in his career. And this is very much challenging because Wout Weghorst, who is just a player loaned from Burnley to Manchester United, has found himself in a position of lifting a trophy at Manchester United. You get? I think it's so much challenging for Harry Kane because Ten Hag has shown him that here we can lift trophies, and it can be another push that will force Harry Kane to force a move out of Tottenham Hotspur because he's now assured of winning trophies at Manchester United. And guys, if we had Anton Martial fit, I believe we would have been to the title race. We wouldn't have lost very many games. You get? Would have collected very many points because I remember the games that saw us get out of the title race are simple. One, the draw, 0-0 draw of Newcastle at Old Trafford. The 2-2 draw against Leeds at Old Trafford. The 0-0 draw against Southampton at Old Trafford. The 1-1 draw away at Crystal Palace, that did us bad. The loss to Arsenal, I believe, at all having Harry Kane, we would have that. If at all you had Harry Kane at the Emirates, that means we would have had two forwards who are really a threat. That is Marcus Rashford, Harry Kane, or Anton Martial, meaning that goals would have come from anywhere else. And you know how this guy plays, that is Harry Kane. He drops deep sometimes and obviously creates space for Marcus Rashford. And his link-up play is really going to be seen very many times in the international games when Marcus Rashford returns after the season is done around June, where they're going to go ahead and really play some 2 games, then they go to the holidays. And I think that interplay and link-up between Rashford and Harry Kane will be something that maybe Ten Hag is really relying on to say to it that these two players know themselves well because they've been playing for the England national team very well and they've played a couple of games together. So I think that helps Harry Kane to fit into my team far much better more. And Harry Kane going in for £100 million, yet Victor Osimhen is going in for £130 million. That might also be a big factor in a decision to be made by Manchester United to get in the player as Harry Kane. But when you look at the goals that Harry Kane has scored and he's trophyless, I think it's really uncalled for. And I read a story that they've put about a new deal for Harry Kane. That is Tottenham Hotspur. And if at all Harry Kane puts pen to paper onto that, he would have again put himself into the prison by himself, because this time around he's left with 1 year. Danny Levy has nothing to do. He's so weak. He has never been in such a weak position like he is in right now. He's in a weak position of his career. That is Danny Levy. At this time around, Harry Kane is the one who is really so much having the power, because in 2021, Harry Kane had 3 years left on his contract, and here we are right now. He's left with just 1 year on his contract. His contract is expiring in 2024. If they don't sell him to United or to any team in the summer, that means he'll be allowed to sign a pre-contract with the team in the January transfer window of 2024. That is Harry Kane for you. So to me, I believe it's really going to be so much important for him, and it's really going to be so much hard for Erik Ten Hag to make a decision on which striker he's going to sign, because every agent who has a striker that is really world class is going to be really knocking at the door of Erik Ten Hag and telling him that, please, this is our striker, we want to bring him to Manchester United because we are really on the take-off stage. Trust me, this season Erik Ten Hag has set everything very well. If he gets in some 3, 4, 5 players in the summer, we are good to go. But at the training session of England, remember the players are into the international break. United players are really talking to Harry Kane that he's Luke Shaw talking to Harry Kane, and this is Harry Maguire. And I pose a question to you. Who is going to do the job of the agent well to convince him to come to Manchester United? Because if Erik ten Hag has really made a decision to sign Harry Kane, that means he has to delegate Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, and Rashford, who pulled out of the national team, to go ahead and really talk to him and tell him, please, come to Old Trafford. You are the only missing piece into Erik ten Hag's jigsaw to see to it that we really win trophies, because next season we're going to be playing in the Champions League, and obviously you want to be competing for the Premier League. So that's it for Harry Kane, and let's get into this man known as Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay was wanted by Newcastle in the January transfer window, and the amount that was being called for was £30 million that Newcastle wanted to pay to Manchester United. And obviously United said no, because they knew that they never had a backup for Casemiro, and maybe they thought Scott McTominay would get the job done and dusted. But it looks like in the summer, Ten Hag wants Scott McTominay out of the team. And now Luke Edwards, a North football writer for Daily Telegraph and BBC broadcaster, has told us that Newcastle United are looking into a summer move for Manchester United's midfielder Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay is believed to be open to the idea of moving to Newcastle at St. James's Park. And if I tell you Scott McTominay, you can't really delay. And it's not only Newcastle that is interested in signing Scott McTominay. Even West Ham are looking at Scott McTominay as a replacement for Declan Rice. Remember, Declan Rice is leaving West Ham. That's it, because this is the only time they're supposed to get some good man out of him, because if they don't sell him this summer, he'll be left with 1 year on his contract. So that means with another optional year, meaning that if at all that to get some good man out of him, they should sell him this season. So they are looking at Scott McTominay as a replacement for Declan Rice, and obviously they want to get some good money out of him. They say that he will have to move from West Ham to any team on a record fee of an English player. Chelsea, Arsenal are the favorites to sign this player, but we are also being told that even Manchester United is interested in Declan Rice, something I don't really go into, because I don't see Erik ten Hag using Declan Rice as his player. I don't see Declan Rice as a player of Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag needs a player whose software is really so much higher than the hardware he has. But when you look at Declan Rice, he has a lot of hardware in him than the software, and that really boils out into Erik ten Hag looking in for someone else. But for Scott McTominay, the game of West Ham he played, 45 minutes was taken off. Even the game of Fulham at Old Trafford was taken off. That's when we really got back into play and dominate the game of football from the 70th minute, I think. So I think it is a signal that he's no longer needed here. However much he's an academic graduate of Manchester United, it's time for him to quit, because he has more of the hardware than the software. His minerals and ingredients are below the levels of players that Erik ten Hag would love to be playing in his team. So let's wait and see how that pans out in the summer, and obviously get to the levels of knowing who is who and who is going to be at Manchester United as the summer comes to the opening on the 1st of July, and the transfer window will be officially open. So let's go to Park Jin-sung. This guy, and I saw very many people referring Pelestri as Park Jin-sung. Obviously he might be, but I think the skill set of Pelestri is far much better than that of Park Jin-sung. Now, Park Jin-sung went ahead and reacted to Erik ten Hag's first season as a United manager. This is what he had to say: that Ten Hag is great. Nobody expected that for his first season. There are always ups and downs, but he's on the right track. I can't wait to see what the future holds for Erik ten Hag, obviously. And this time round, we are having players of Manchester United, and meaning the ex-players of Manchester United, coming in and giving their thoughts about Erik ten Hag that are really genuine, not based onto favoritism, because we know the Mets. We knew the Mets: Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, such who are really pundits in mainstream media coming out and doing the punditry job, trying to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Even when he had really put the team to the ground, they wouldn't do the needful, yet we are going and really dirtying ourselves in the mud and losing the reputation of a big club like Manchester United. So they came out and backed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer amidst him putting in abysmal performances season in, season out. But this time round, when you hear Park Jin-sung talk about Erik ten Hag, I think they have a reason to back him. Even when we lost 7-0 to Liverpool, I was shocked when Gary Neville came out and said, I trust Erik ten Hag to fix this. So he's a manager they never wanted. They wanted Mauricio Pochettino, but it was nowhere near what we fans wanted. We made the choice and the board danced to our tunes, and obviously Erik ten Hag is ten Hagging at Manchester United and is cooking things that are really giving us the right aroma that is really pleasant to our nose. And the football being coached, it's really great, and we know that we are not yet there, but if at all they get him the signings once in the summer, we believe he's going to be up there, and you're going to be one of those teams that are really going to be playing some very good football. So your reactions to Kane ready to push for United move in the summer are welcome in the comment section below. Scott McTominay welcoming a move to Newcastle in the summer. Your thoughts onto that are welcome in the comment section below. And lastly, Park Jin-sung giving Erik ten Hag his props because of being one of those players, those managers that's gone ahead to give us a lot of anticipations and hope that Sir Alex Ferguson gave us when he was a manager at United. Good morning, and may the Almighty God bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. Ciao, ciao.